Thanks for being here. I want to tip my hat to North Texas and their staff. Did a really good job tonight. They got a 7-1 football team. I think one of the better offenses I've seen in probably my career, to be honest with you, with what they do. I think they're leading the country in scoring. We knew it was going to be a huge challenge going into the game. Offensively, we just couldn't put enough pressure on them to make it a game in the second half. Our kids, for 3 quarters, I thought we were right there. We told our guys all week that, hey, we're going to have to take some chances at times in the game. I mean, we brought pressure, man pressure, zone pressure, dropped 8, and their skill set, we had missed tackles, but their skill had a lot to do with it, We had trouble getting them down, and they got some athletes there. Seemed like, as I said, when we were in zone, quarterback came to he progressed through his progression and was able to find a hole in the window, and we couldn't get him down at times, So, again, we're disappointed with the fourth quarter. I'd like to have a couple calls back, but hey, we said all week this is our mindset going into it. And our kids, we were on schedule with our plan going into the game, and it just got out of hand in the fourth quarter. So with that, I'll open up for questions.
Coach, 4th and distance on your side of the field, you decide to fake the punt. What went into that call, and just what did you see that maybe you thought you could do?
It's a numbers thing for us. It's not an automatic check. We got to tell them that we're okay with it, and we had numbers and they had a spy guy. That's kind of how it went down. Should I have done it? No. Now that's over. But again, our mindset going in was we're going to be aggressive.
Coach, what do you feel was the biggest change they made defensively to slow you guys down at the end there?
Yeah, I'll have to watch the film. I'm disappointed with some things. We had the field goal drive, and we had a personnel issue. I thought maybe on second down we couldn't get the right personnel. And then because you got to get a touchdown there. We didn't get it done. But the next 3 drives, we had 2nd and 5 on all 3 of them. We didn't get a first down, and that cannot happen. If I got it right in my head, we had 3 seconds. So 1st and 10, I think we hit a little hitch, popped a little inside run, but we got 2nd and 5 on 3 straight series, and didn't get a first down and had to punt the ball. And when you're playing this kind of offense, even if you just get 3 or 4 or 5 more first downs, you got the ball, they don't, and it's a 2-score game, and we couldn't answer it when it was in 27-20, I think, so we're gonna have to look at that. I thought, Grayson this is probably his best game, and we protected decently at times with him. They got to us a couple times on 7-man protection, which is disappointing, and I don't know if one of them was a 4-man rush and one of them was I think they brought 6. I'll have to look at that. But he got the ball out and wasn't holding it and moved when he had to. So is it something that they did differently from the first half defensively? No. I don't want to just blame it all on us, but we got to be able to have more production offensively for sure.
Coach, you talk about the middle 8 a lot. That was when you guys forced your 2 turnovers. What did you like about the way you handled that period, that middle 8 period today?
I'm obviously happy we didn't have any turnovers tonight offensively. That's for the first time all year. And they had 2, I think, so that's very exciting and something we got to build on. Again, we just got to get more consistent. I think we had 3 penalties on special teams tonight. That's the first time all year. I'm disappointed with that. And so we've been solid. I'm going to say we've been solid on special teams and our coverage units all year. Now, I got to say, with where we are injury-wise, it is musical. It is so musical chairs with special teams. I mean, JQ didn't play tonight. I mean, he's one of the best players that we have on special teams. We have a lot of new faces playing in those units, because of where we are injury-wise, and we've held up. Now, tonight, we had a few things that we gotta, we have to look at,
Coach, walk me through the end of the half. You get the interception, and then you have two nice runs. You decide not to call a timeout. Just what went into that decision to go into halftime?
Yeah, I'm going to say the exact opposite about being aggressive, and just where we were field position-wise. I think we only had one timeout left. I'd used two in the, earlier in the game, in the first half, and just where we were and the type of offense that we got with one timeout, I just thought to play it safe. I didn't want to, I didn't want to lose the game right there. I don't know if the score was 17-all. Was the score? Is that what it was? And if maybe if he would have got a first down and the clock would have stopped on second, they stopped the second one. If he would have got the first down and the clock stopped, I was, but I'm the one that I said, Todd, nope, shut it down. I'm the one. Make no mistake about that. But it crossed my mind if the clock would have stopped, but they wound it, so I just said, let's get out of here. So it's a fair question but it's I'm the decision maker on that.
Coach, you've talked a lot about your team not letting some of those miscues or things that have gone wrong kind of impact them, especially in the first half. North Texas would have a drive, you guys would answer right back. What did you like about the way they were persevering in the first half, especially today?
There's a lot of good things, in the game, and really on both sides. And again, North Texas would get first downs, but our guys they kept play the next play, as I'd mentioned in the presser on Tuesday. Coach Fauna said play the next play because they're going to make yards. They just are. I'm very excited for Yamil. I think he had the interception. I think we had a pressure and he was a drop end and really went up and high pointed the ball and made a really nice catch. But our guys continue to be resilient and continue to fight. That's why they're a great group to coach. And as a coaching staff, we're going to keep those guys doing that. And our next opponent, we're going to hang in there for 4 quarters instead of just 3.
All right, Coach, and giving you a chance to put a positive on it, who are some of the guys who stepped up kind of holding their teammates accountable for some of the miscues on the sideline tonight?
Yeah, again, it's hard for me to really answer that because I'm facing the field, and some of that stuff goes on behind. But again, I referenced it earlier in my opening statement. I think again, I don't hear any splintering. I don't hear any. There's no finger pointing. Which is I'm very, very proud of the guys because it's tough. It's tough on them, And they get our guys. It's like they have the weight of the world on them. I don't want them. I don't want them to be like that. I want. To, we all know it's going to hurt because they invest so much. They invest so much for this to win. So there's going to be a hurt, but have humility. Look yourself in the mirror. And I heard one of the guys in the locker room say just what I just repeated to you, almost word for word, come from a player. So.
And I know it's a couple of difficult losses at home. And so what do games like this kind of tell you about the gap between where you want the Charlotte program to be and where they are right now?
Yeah. I mean, the scores tell you it's big. But my 37 years of coaching say it's not as big as the scores. It's obviously bigger than what you want, but I'm hanging my head on the recruiting class that we have committed. We all know that you're not going to be able to flip it and turn it around with all high school kids. We want to be a 60% developmental high school, 40% transfer program, and I think we got a good nucleus that's fighting, and so we're going to get some resources, and this coaching staff that I've been bragging on. I mean, we're going to be able to close that gap, I think, sooner than what you think. It's good. It's a very good question.
Coach, talking about that nucleus, just play a team that's 7-1, played really successful, definitely first half. How important is that experience? How can that help them moving forward, being able to play that well against a team like that?
Yeah, this is tough to say, with the score what it was, to say that there's positives because the score just got out of hand. But I told them, I mean, it's a 7-1 football team that's going to be nationally ranked. I would suspect they're going to be in the hunt for the championship, and if they keep going, they're going to be in the hunt to make the playoff. Straight. I don't know who they have left, and there's a lot of ball yet to be played, but they're in position, obviously, to make the playoff as of right now. And I told our guys, hey guys, for 3 quarters, you were right there with them.
Javen, sometimes the offense, it's felt like you guys have had to put together a lot of plays to get into the end zone. Today, getting some of those big plays, what does that do for the offense's momentum when you can get those spark plays during a game?
I feel like it brought a bright spot to the offense as a whole. All season, we've been working, been having some stalled drives, so it's been pretty frustrating. So tonight, just coming out here tonight and getting those explosive plays, you can tell like the offense has some confidence going.
Grayson had a really good game, started out strong. What do you see from him as he develop and have the best game of the season so far?
Yeah, I mean, Grayson's a really good quarterback. Like I've said in here before, all 3 guys were guys that I felt comfortable with going into the game. Yeah, he had a really good game, and I know his confidence is very high right now. So we have a bye week. Next week we have to get better and just prepare for the next game after that.
Tim had brought up, you guys knew you were going to give up some yards this game, but you really wanted to be kind of a bend, don't break defense, being able to force a turnover right towards the end of the half and just be able to kind of halt that momentum. I mean, what did that do for the defense, and can you kind of just walk us through that play for you?
I mean, the defense, we always got to step up, try not to let teams score. But it was just crazy when it happened. I mean, just set the tone for the second half. Just got to finish.
For both of you, you got the bye week coming up. In your personal opinions, what can you guys take away from that successful first half and build off of during this bye week?
Really just trusting our process. I don't think we should really change anything. Coach Elvin preaches win, lose, or draw. He has the same process to attack and practice. So just really taking the good and building on that and the bad things that we did. Not really considering as a loss, just a learning lesson, and just build from the mistakes really.
I would say we just got to keep working. We got ECU coming up. That's the rivals. We're just going to have to stop them, keep playing like we was playing in the first half.
And this question's for both of you, offensively and defensively. Yards after the catch. All right, had 89 yards after the catch on offense here, but the defense, there was a lot of yards after the catch defensively. How important is it to kind of be able to move that pass game forward, get beyond break tackles, and them defensively? What was the struggle with getting those guys down tonight?
I mean, they got some good receivers. You just got to tackle, get them to the ground. D-line just got to get sacks, get more pressure so the secondary don't got to deal with that.
For the offense, I mean, really the play starts once we catch the ball. We don't really want to be possession receivers. And if the backs are catching the ball, we don't want them to be possession backs. Really just creating explosives, not having those longer drives when we're getting 13 plays and getting off the field with no points. So yards at the catch are really important for the team. And tonight it showed, and that's how we had some explosive plays.
Coaches talked a lot, especially after the last game, about being able to overcome some of those miscues that are going to happen during any football game, whether you win or lose. How do you feel like you guys are kind of growing in that area? And especially in the first half tonight, how did you feel like you were kind of showing, hey, we're overcoming, even if they drive, whatever may happen, we're kind of overcoming those things?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like just in general, our record doesn't define us as a team. Like, I know we have some high scoring on defense, some low scoring on offense, but as a team, I feel like we're doing a really good job of staying together. Offense, like, congratulating the defense when they make a good play. If offense is not having a good drive, defense, like, we got y'all. So I just really think just standing together as a team is, like, really the big thing for real.
Yeah, I would say, what was the question again?
How do you feel like you guys have been able to kind of overcome just anything that may happen in a game? Because no game's going to be perfect. You're going to have to overcome
We just
some
gonna
things.
have to keep fighting as a defense. My boy Gil, he got that strip when UNC was driving down on us. So I just say keep making plays like that, keep forcing them 3-and-outs, field goals.
Appreciate y'all.